Hey there, fellow magic makers. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me. Today, I get to talk about the magical potential of the humble box. I have long been a proponent of using boxes in magic, and I've known since I was a little girl that they are very mystical objects. I've been asked many times to explain how I utilize boxes in magic, and today I'm going to reveal that to you. These are some of the boxes that I use, but there are many. This is one of my favorite ones, actually, that I got in a charity shop years ago. I mean, come on. You know that's right up my alley. But I also use a couple of boxes that were made for me by fellow witches, actually. So this one was made for me by Carly Sorat, and you can see this one is absolutely asking to be used in box magic. Carly is a witch and an artist and many other things besides. I will leave her Instagram down below for you. But this was just such a gorgeous gift, and I could not help but see it immediately as a magical object. So I use this one for box magic. This is the smallest box that I use for box magic. It was a gift from Maha Satara. I know some of you know her. She is an astrologer, a herbalist, and many other things besides. I will leave her Instagram down below as well. And actually, I keep the special protective eye that was sent to me in this box. I keep that in there, but I have removed it and used it for box magic as well. So yeah, I get the great privilege of being able to use boxes that were sent to me or made for me by other witchy beings. But you can use any box that you find. You can use a Tupperware box. You can use a box that came with something in it that you've just repurposed for box magic. Let me explain to you a little bit about what you can use boxes for. A really good purpose for boxes in magic is for containment or pausing. Okay, so if you want to put something into a necessary state of non-movement until you're ready to deal with it, if you want to kind of freeze it, if you want to keep a situation where it is and stop it from getting out of hand, obviously you're going to want to symbolize that and put it into a box. Boxes, therefore, are also really good for things like freezer magic. If you want to combine the box with the freezer for your spell working, you can do that. Boxes are also mightily good for bindings, okay, for obvious reasons. They contain something, and so that's really the most instinctive way I think that you would use boxes in magic. But there are many more ways to use it, many more themes that boxes play into. This is just one of the most obvious, I think: containment and pausing. Another great way to bring boxes into magic is to think of them as a place of significance, as a temple of honor. So if you think about something that you want to elevate, that you want to recognize, that you want to think of as particularly more important perhaps than anything else going on your altar or anything else going on in your life, you want to give it pride of place in a special kind of location. The box could be thought of as such. So yeah, you've got containment and pausing, but then you've also got that kind of like pride of place, the position that you place something into when it really means something to you, and you want to honor its significance and importance in your reality or in the working that you're doing. So the box becomes kind of like, you know, wow, this is the place where the really important thing goes, you know. Boxes are also very good for gestation, for growing something. Okay, you can think of the box as a womb or the box as soil, and so whatever you place into the box in your magic is intended to be developed. It's intended to be nourished and fed, so you can really put an incredible amount of concentrated nutrition, energetic nutrition, towards whatever is in the box. So you're thinking of the box as like a place where you would cultivate something essentially and give it that extra power that it needs to really come into its own. So yeah, the box as a womb, the box as soil, the box as a place of gestation. This is another box that I use a lot in my magic and have done for years. I bought it again in a charity shop years ago in my early 20s, I think. I did some psychometry on it and I was like, ooh, this box is potent. Let me definitely buy this one. So this one has been a big one in my box magic as well over the course of time. And I love the fact that it's got little legs. It's so cute. Now, if we go from thinking of the box as a womb, take it all the way to the other end of the life cycle, the box as a coffin, okay? The box is very good for things like funeral spells, all right? When you want to really confirm that something has died, you want to do your release work around it, you want to say your goodbye to it, then the box can be seen as something that signifies that, like, this is no longer in my life. This is no longer something I'm focusing on. This relationship is no longer there. So thinking of the box as a coffin can be just as effective of thinking of it as a womb, okay? It's basically two ends of the same very potent magical spectrum. I have used boxes in many a release ritual, many a goodbye spell, very powerful, you know, and sometimes occasionally I have even envisioned banging the nails into the top, all right? Like, it's truly coffin vibes when I use a box in this regard in spellcraft. Adjacent to using the box as a womb, I also sometimes just think of the box as a place of safety, a place of protection. So if something is vulnerable, if it's fragile, if I feel like there's a risk in relation to that theme or that relationship or that project, I might put it into a box as a place of protection and a place to kind of keep it away from other influences or energies that I think might be problematic or might stop it from growing in the way that I want it to. So the box can actually be kind of like a magical line of defense, and it's supposed to symbolize a place that you put something to keep it away from prying eyes, to keep it away from energies that might kind of fuck with it or stop it from growing in the way that is ideal for you. Think of it as a safe house, in other words. You know, boxes make great magical safe houses, especially when you have a great relationship with that box, you've consecrated it really well, you feel like it's a very powerful item for you to be able to truly know that whatever you put into it is then safe from anything that might mess with it. Reframing is a very, very good magical use for the humble box, okay? Basically when you want to see something differently, when you want to feel differently about something. I remember many years ago I was told in school that the writer Roald Dahl had a magic drawer, and whenever he was having problems with a story and he didn't know where the story was going, he would put it in the magic drawer. Then he would take it out at a future time and he would realize that, like, oh wow, all the inspiration has come to me to finish this story. Now, regardless of Roald Dahl and his politics and everything else, I remember being inspired by that magically as a kid. I was like, you can put something somewhere to reframe it, to bring fresh inspiration to it, to put it away so that when you take it out again, you feel differently about it. So if you need to reframe something, if there is something where you have a lot of limiting thoughts or limiting beliefs around it, you can't seem to shift the way that you see it, put it in the magical box, leave it for a moon cycle or whatever, take it out, and you might be having some very, very fresh perceptions of that thing that you put in there. Another way that I've used boxes over time in my magic and witchcraft is to use them as a home, you know, use them as a home base for various things that you want to keep together, that you want to keep safe, that you want to be able to access at the same time or in relation to each other. If you think this box looks very, very old and tired, it's because it is, okay? I've had it for absolutely years upon years. And at the moment it is a home for some various things that I'm keeping together. You know, I've got my snow globe in there that's got very special associations, a worry doll that I made, I've got some doll parts, I've got my doll head, I've got my doll arms, okay, I've got a little bell in here. Nobody but I knows the reasons why these things are together and why it's important that they live in this home, okay? But nonetheless, okay, use a box as a magical home for things. A box can also be a really good place for combining and blending things together. So let's say that you've just recently gotten married and you feel like you would like to have more harmony between your family and your partner's family. You might put things in there that symbolize their family and your family and put them together in the box to blend, to integrate, to harmonize, to bring together. Let's say that you want your past and your future to feel more connected, or you want different parts of you to feel more connected, or whatever it is that feels like it's kind of disparate from each other and there's too much space between it. You can also put things together to combine and blend them, to make them feel like they are more naturally akin to each other and they're working together instead of at odds with each other. So that's another really good reason to put various different things into a box for a working or something like that, is because you want to blend, you want to integrate, you want to harmonize, you want to bring disparate things into alignment with each other. And the box is a place where they can kind of bake. So this is sort of like thinking of the box as an oven, essentially, right? Put things in the oven, the ingredients mix together, the alchemy occurs, and they become a pie. They become a casserole, essentially. So definitely don't be afraid to use your box as an oven, all right? But just don't put it in the oven with the things in it, all right? That's something I would not advise.
What's in the box?
Pain.
Box magic is a really versatile form of magic. There's so much that you can do with a box once you've put in it the things that are magically significant to you for the working, right? So you can wrap it up, you can put it away somewhere in the dark, you can sing to it, you can knock on it, you can pour things over it, you know, you can like place things on top of it, place things around it. You can encourage it with words or with drumming or whatever. Like you can do so many different things with a box once everything is inside it. And really what what you're doing is you're putting things together to be able to concentrate your intention on whatever is within the box. So the box makes your intention and your focus very sort of like laser sharp towards the thing that you're doing, the working that you're doing. When you're using a box for a spell working, you can use it just over the course of that one working and then take the objects out of it straight away, because the objects are only programmed to symbolize what they're symbolizing for the length of that working. So it's not like you have to leave things in the box for a long time. But for me, I think of the box in magic as a marinating device, right? So what I put in there, I would like to keep in there for a while. And I have been known to leave things in boxes for magical workings for an entire moon cycle, or just until it feels like the spell has been done, right? Things remain on my altar in boxes until I feel like the thing that I wanted has come to pass. And only then do the objects within the box and the words and everything else that I've put in there, only then do those things return to a neutral state, and I can remove them and they can be cleansed and used for something else. And in terms of what I put into boxes, I put jewelry in there, I put letters in there, I put objects from my past, I've put locks of my hair. I mean, it really can go anywhere. You can combine all kinds of different delicious ingredients together in a box. And that makes you feel like, okay, the whole structure, the whole universe of my desire and my intention is in this box symbolized. And so once you've got that family of things together, then whatever you do to the box is what you're doing to bring that into being or to release it from you, whatever the intention of the spell happens to be. The box itself also returns to neutral once the working is done. So you can reprogram the box for something else. You can do a simple cleansing on the box. You can reprogram it by telling it what its new job is. You can thank it for the working that has been done and just say, like, I return you back to neutral, basically. So the box then doesn't have any longer anything to do with the previous working that it was used for. I think it's really important that witches understand, because very often I get asked this question. I think it's important that practitioners understand that their objects that they use in spellcraft can then be reprogrammed for other things, in just the same way as I might use my Rider-Waite-Smith to read cards for a client, and then literally an hour later, I'll use my Rider-Waite-Smith for another client, right? I have reprogrammed it energetically and in my own mind to be able to work wonderfully for somebody else. And so our objects are always being neutralized and reprogrammed. We're always cleansing and then, like, you know, giving them a new intention. So it's the same for the box also. However, you may want to have different boxes for different things. So some witches might have a box more that is for release work or dissolving or ridding themselves of something, and then boxes for bringing in, housing, cultivating, you know, giving nutrition to something. So my darlings, what do you think of these box magic techniques? Do any of them resonate with you? Do you think that you will be using boxes more now that you've watched this video? Are you already a proponent of boxes in magic, and what have you used them for in the past? Do you have any special boxes? Tell me. I'm a box magpie. If you like this video, please subscribe, click the like button, click the notification bell, all that good stuff. If you want to work with me, come over to the website and have a look at what I'm offering. And don't forget, I recently brought out a book, Witch in Darkness. Here it is. It's my baby. It's my baby. So, you know, if you feel like picking it up, please do. It is for sorcerers in dark, difficult times. So if that's you, you might need to read it. Much love until next time, and blessed be. Mwah.